In this section of the Employee Data webinar, we'll be talking about using benefits to track both paid and unpaid benefits, and also to post planned time off ahead of time. So for Mary, I'm going to click on the benefit tab for her. Here's different postings that have happened for her, incrementing her hours for any particular pay code. So here on 412, we said she's got 1.6 hours additional of sick time. And here on 413, we said, okay, another hour of training time. It doesn't matter whether or not these are paid or not. They're simply going to be tracked. The used is only going to come out of the time card. So if there's nothing posted in the time card, there would be nothing used. These comments were added on after the fact in this comment field. The Balances tab tells us either for a particular point in time or for forever, how many hours relative to what she earned does she have left. So she earned 12.8, used 8, 4.8 left. So to post these, you could do them manually or you can automate them. I'm going to go through manually first. Let's take our brand new employee, John Smith. Let's say he starts and our policy is he gets 40 hours of vacation. So I'm going to click on the Benefit tab, go to Earned, and maybe I want to do that as of the 15th. I'm going to say 40 hours. Vacation. I'm just hitting V. And nope, I could put a comment in here that says initial allocation. You'll notice his used is currently 0 because he hasn't a single thing on the time card. Nothing's been used. And the balances will be what it is. At the end of the year, if you want to zero this out or do some type of a trimming, you cannot force anything in the used tab. You'd have to enter it in the time card, but that wouldn't make sense because they may not have used the hours. What you're really doing is you're decrementing, you're removing hours. So let's say it's the end of the year and my policy is if you don't use it, you don't have it forward. And so 12/31 of 19, I'm going to post a negative, whatever I want to zero out, 40 hours of vacation. So now when we go to the Balance tab, I'll save my changes. He has nothing. So if your policy is, as they cross the year, to zero out, what you could do is see what their balances are at the end of the year, make an entry to zero them out, and then turn right around and let's say the first of the next year, go ahead and give them the new amount of vacation that they would have earned that year. I'd advise making two separate lines rather than the net of both because then you'll wonder what happened a year or two down the road. This makes it very clear what happened, and you could put a comment in to zero out 2019 unused, and you could say initial allocation of vacation for 2020. Rather than post benefits manually over and over, you can do that, and it actually works quite well if you only increment once a year. But a lot of people do increment these on every pay period. Maybe they do it every quarter. However often you do it, the function of batch post accrued benefits should save you a lot of time. So let's say it's the end of the pay period and my policy is to give everybody 5 hours of vacation. I would pick my employed as of date, whatever date I want to post it as though they had earned it. The comment could be, batch allocation. Calculation method, I'm going to go through simple, standard amount, and let's say everybody got 6 hours or 5 hours. Then I could flag this and everybody would get 5. I could also manipulate this screen and I could say, no, that person got 6 and that person got 7. So you could put these in manually. So this is if it's a chunk and everybody tends to be on the same page and there's not a lot of change. If everybody earned it at a different rate, what I could do instead is over here at user-defined fields, I made a user-defined field called vacation accrual rate. I didn't set it for John yet. Let's say he's brand new and his is a 4 hours every time I do it. But I have already done it for Mary Anderson. And if I go over here, hers is 3, 3, 5, and so on. Okay, so I've got everybody's individual rates of earning. If I wanted to post that quarterly or every payroll, however often I want to, I'd click on Functions, batch post the accrued benefits. I am doing vacation. I'd pick my employed and post date. What changes is the calculation method is still simple, but I am applying that user-defined field, a UDF, where I put those values in. And now when I say next, I could have everybody get incremented at this rate. And the last couple of ways you might do it is, instead of, quote, simple, maybe your policy is that you want to increment it every pay period or every 40 hours in between. As an aside, there are a couple of states that specify every 30 hours. Well, just prorate it out so it comes out to be every 40 hours. It'll be the same number. If this is every 40 hours, you're going to have to put a start and end date, apply the accrual rate, well, apply whatever number you wanted. Maybe it's a standard amount. And for every 40 hours worked, they got 1.33 maybe, or something like that. Click Next, and then everybody would come out here. So that's how you're going to batch post the accrual rates. The other thing that you can do with the Benefits tab here is, let's say somebody is taking vacation. Mary Anderson's taking vacation in a number of weeks. I don't want to post that ahead of time on the time card, because if I do, she'll not be able to check in and out until that week happens. I probably also want to know immediately, in terms of scheduling, that she's not going to be there. So that is what the Planned Benefit tab is for. As soon as I enter the time here for her vacation, if I'm running anything based on schedules, Procare knows she will not be here at that point. So even though it's not on the time card, in terms of scheduling, we already know what's going to go on. I would use this also as a staging area. For this time frame, I would wait until that pay period was done. And then I don't have to put the times in by hand. I'd come up to Functions, batch post the time card based on planned benefits. I could do all pay codes that were there, or I could restrict them to just the one type of pay code. And this would be what span of time would I be looking for to post. So if I did this right now, she wouldn't get anything on the calendar. If it was already, let's say, after that date, and I did this full span of time, would all be posted on the time card at that point. So if you do this, you want to wait until the pay period is complete, and then you would apply this batch posting. There are a number of different reports that you can use, and we'll go through those on the report section that would reflect how many hours they had in terms of balances, how many hours they've used and earned, and so on.